So yeah, we start in the weekly time frame and we move on to the H4 and move on to the H1 or M30. So in the weekly time frame, we look for two candlesticks, and this previous candle, in this case we have two bullish candlesticks. So we highlight the close of the previous candle, and we also highlight the upper wick. And then the close of the previous candle is literally acting as our entry. This is a bullish candle, and the upper wick is acting as our TP on that previous bullish candle, right? Then after that, we hop in H4 time frame. We look for a market trend. Is it either bullish or bearish? Then we can clearly see the market is bullish. It is breaking structure to the upside. That previous high was broken up to, and it made another higher high, and now it failed to break that high, but it eventually broke that high and created another higher high, and that became a higher low. It's breaking structure to the upside, so it's a bullish market. So we're focused on going long, buys only, right? And you can clearly see that was the high of the market. And then we hop in H1. Now we look for chart patterns or market trend lines. We can look for it in the H4, but in the H1 it's more clearer because we now have an entry, and you can clearly see there's a trend line right there, and that was the first touch of the trend line. And there happened another second touch of the trend line, and there was also a third touch. And third touch is usually the breakout, right? And what makes a trend line valid are the touches. You can see first touch, second touch, and now I'm waiting for the third touch, which is the breakout. So I cannot just enter right there. I need to zoom in my chart so I can see clearly, but it seems like a RRT, so I could have entered there or just hopped into M30, another lower time frame, so I can enter precisely. And on that third circle, you can see that's where my entry is, and I'm waiting for a breakout outside that trend line. And you can clearly see that big candle. It's also forming an RRT. I've said about it in my previous videos. Those two candles are RRT, railroad track candlesticks. You can check my previous videos. I have explained countless of times about RRT. So where that blue line is your entry, and where that blue line is your stop loss. I wouldn't advise entering in the M15 because it's ugly. I would recommend to enter in the M30 and H1. Yeah, those are huge entries. They are the best. And you can clearly see in the H1 there's also an RRT. You could have entered there and you would have made the pay. Yeah, you would have made the pay.